Hey everyone, back again on the Vice, doing a fly tying tutorial today. I just got my hands on this new bobbin by Simon Fly, and I thought rather than try it on my own, I would use it for this tutorial. So I'm going to be giving you a handful of tricks that you can use to help with your hackle. So for this video, I'm just going to be using what I have on hand, which in this case is schlappen. When I'm tying in a hackle to use as a collar, I often use guinea, silver pheasant, mallard, gadwall, teal, checker, barred wood duck. Really, the options are endless. Honestly, you can use just about any feather for tying in hackles, but there are some feathers that are better for it than others. So the first thing you're going to want to do is strip off the fluffy part on the bottom of the feather. All feathers have a natural curvature if you hold them a certain way. You'll notice that I've got the feather curving away from me, which is perfect. Because I'm going to be tying in this particular hackle by the tip, I'm just going to separate it here, and then I'm going to tie in the tip. I'm just going to go ahead and pull this out, make that a little bit longer. That's more like it. Now, the first method I'm showing is going to be the fold back method. So I'm going to hold my feather up, and I'm going to start to fold both the right and the left side of the fibers on the stem back so that they meet each other in the middle. This is a particularly handy method if you're using feathers like marabou or any sort of feathers that are a little fluffy and difficult to manage. I'm going to go ahead and use spit or water to really help kind of glue them back together. So now what we've got is we've got this nice, clean, exposed stem so that it's easy for me to wrap forward. As you wrap forward, you want to always make sure that you're pulling back. And you want each wrap to be snug to the one before it. Now, a trick that I wasn't going to mention, but that I will since I'm here, is you don't need to use all of the feather just because it's there in front of you. If you feel like that's sufficient, and honestly, usually after 3 wraps, I'm done. I'm gonna go ahead and take my thumbnail, if I had one, and I'm going to just peel any excess off. Now it's easy for me to just go ahead and do my tie off there. And there we go, now we have our hackle tied in. So obviously, if we were tying this into a fly, there are a number of ways we could have used this. If this was a marabou leech, we could have just gone ahead and wrapped maybe 1 or 2 different colors of marabou 3 or 4 times to create a leech. We could tie this in so that it had some spacing down the fly to give it a little bit of body. If you do it that way, then you're going to want to counter wrap with a wire. It's important to remember that not all feathers are created equally. So try to open up your feathers like a deck of cards and choose the one that works best for what you're trying to accomplish. If you're trying to be more precise or are working with a particularly stubborn feather, there is a method that we call scissor folding. I'll show you how that works. Hold your feather up and just go in at a slight angle and push up. You'll literally hear the fibers go click, 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 click underneath your scissors. Okay, that's one side done. And just like that, again, we have a clean, exposed stem. Sometimes, whether it be for aesthetics or for manageability, you're going to want to peel one side of the feather. This is especially helpful when working with feathers like guinea, mallard, teal. You'll notice that sometimes if you try to fold those hackles, they tend to get a little unruly. They start to crisscross and they tend not to lay over that smooth. So in that case, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to, again, find a feather curving away from you. Go ahead and peel off the fluff because it's unlikely that you're going to be using it. And then if you are a right-hand tyer, you're going to peel off the entire left side of the feather. If you're a left-hand tyer, you're going to peel off the entire right-hand side. I'm obviously a righty, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get rid of this left-hand side, just leaving myself enough room at the tip to be able to tie it in. This bobbin has been really good so far. I am impressed. It's super, super lightweight. I'm going to be doing a video at a later date about tools in my fly tying kit, and I will elaborate on this after I've put in a little more time on it. So in this situation, again, we've gotten rid of one side. I'm just going to go ahead and do exactly as we did before, always pulling back as I wrap forward, nice and tight, snug so that it hugs against the wrap before it. Here's another situation that you may be faced with while tying. Say that you're like me and you have bushwhacked through marshes and streams and picked off maggots to get yourself a heron. I'll tell you straight up, when I have a feather that's pretty sparse like this, I am not going to be peeling one side of it. That's a situation where you are going to want to be able to pull it back to have them meet in the middle. You really want to use every single fiber off some of these feathers. So even if you think you like the peeling method, it's worth it to know both, just in case you do get yourself in a situation with a particular type of feather that you don't want to waste. I thought I would quickly show you how to use the hackle tricks if you are in a situation with fluff. I just want to show you how easily these pull together if they have been wet down. So you can see even here, like this isn't a piece of marabou or even a blood quill marabou, it's just, fluffy stuff. And just with a little bit of water or spit there, you can go ahead and really get it so it lays down nice and flat. So if you were in a situation where you were trying to use that, you could then go ahead and wrap it around. And of course, it's got no tangles, it isn't wrapped underneath itself, and when it's in the water, it really pulsates and looks beautiful and appealing to fish. The last tip is really the most simple tip, but I was amazed. When I used to teach these classes, I was absolutely astonished with how many people didn't think to do this quick little adjustment when they were tying in their hackles, and it made all the difference between a clean looking fly and a fly that looked a little bit sloppy. I mean, not that it matters. Look, a lot of the times sloppy flies catch the most fish, but also sloppy flies can tend to not be quite as tight or even have the thread wound on as tight, and they can unravel during fishing. I saw a lot of people try to wind on their hackles like this. All you need to do, and I know I've got my camera set this way so it's a little out of screen. Actually here, I'll adjust it so you can see. All you need to do is just roll your fingers. That's it. If you roll your fingers, it's going to be so much easier to lay your hackle flat. Again, pulling back as you wrap it forward. So all it takes is just a little adjustment. It's all in the adjustments. It's the little things, right? And there you go. I hope that helps some of you guys. Stay tuned for next week because I'm going to be posting a video about my time spent on the lake with Brian Chan. Hopefully I can teach you some stuff that he taught me and just share the experience. So thanks for tuning in, and please remember to subscribe. Okay, you guys can come back in now. I'm one of those bad mums who starts drinking at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and sends my whole family into the hallway while I'm filming videos. Hi! Are you gonna start tying?
Do you have any gas issues with that mince and cabbage?
No, did you? Gas issues? Like farting? We go around and around and around. Good girl, but don't pull too much out. Oh dear, you're just like my students. Okay, say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.